Ladies
live.
and gentlemen,
What
we
episode is this?
are live. Isn't that a story, dude? That guy, Bruce Buffer, and the other guy, they're like brothers that were long lost or some shit. Like this is some crazy shit, right?
What do you mean?
The Rumble in
The Jungle?
Jungle, the guy that said like,
No, the Rumble in the Jungle's Muhammad Ali and
Mm.
Joe Frazier.
no, who's the guy that announced the fight?
Oh, the guy's dad?
No, it's his brother, dude.
It's not his brother.
I swear to God, do you don't know about this story? Bruce Buffer and
Rumble in the Jungle, yeah.
yeah,
Michael
Michael
Buffer.
Buffer, dude. Okay, so he made this figure. Let's get ready to rumble. That was him, right? That's what made him famous. That was his claim to fame. His brother, separated at birth, is Bruce Buffer, who went on to become the main ring announcer for the UFC 30 years later, and he made what's his thing? It's time. That's fucking epic, though. Think about that. You never heard about that?
No, I haven't actually. Let's get ready. Well,
No. Look at Bruce Buffer and Michael Buffer, dude. Like, look at them.
Bruce Buffer and Michael Buffer. Let's see. So Bruce and Michael Buffer are half brothers, who are both famous ring announcers in combat sports. They were unaware of each other for most of their lives until Bruce discovered their relationship in the late 1980s after seeing Michael on television. Michael Buffer is known for the catchphrase, "Let's get ready to rumble," from his work in boxing, while Bruce Buffer is known as the voice of the Octagon for the UFC and his catchphrase, "It's time."
You kind of said that lame, dude. He says it. Dude, he tore his like ACL.
How does he say it? How does he say it?
It's time. You know, like I'm not gonna do. It's kind of gay.
Well, you said it's not gay, man.
Okay.
You are, if you're saying that's gay, you're calling Bruce Buffer gay. Is that what you're saying? If you want to say that, man, say it live to the camera.
I mean, I don't know what his.
He is the voice of the Octagon.
No, I think it's cool. He tore his pec. I can't say it. Me saying it is what I'm saying. Is
I
like,
shouldn't say that. I mean, yeah, I think that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he himself is a. He says it. Wait, just pull it up, dude. Pull it up. Pull up where he broke his leg or something while he tore his his muscles. Put Bruce Buffer injury. Yeah, injury. Yeah, dude. This was live during fight, dude. It was crazy. He tears ACL.
Bruce Buffer tore his ACL introducing GSP.
Turn up. This was years ago. He gets low, dude. He gets low on the ground when he's doing the announcement. It's all, because you got to get the fans pumped up. You know what I'm saying? You got to get them excited. You got to, you're the voice of the Octagon, or you're the MC.
And I mean, it's such a high intensity sport and everything like that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, he kind of took a wrong step and everything like that. Yeah. I mean, obviously, he didn't tear by announcing that. Obviously,
say, do like a Bruce Buffer, fucking do a Bruce Buffer intro. Oh, you can watch TikTok on the thing.
Do whatever I want.
Okay. The octave keeps going up.
John Jones is scary, man. I'll be honest. John Jones is terrifying.
Ah, you got to get the crowd going. You know what I
dude,
mean? Like,
it's a really tough job at the end of the day. You know, it's not
hundreds
like
of thousands of people have been like, or imagine if there's just been a boring fight for like 30 minutes and people are like pissed. Like, you know, like it's like you got to rile up the audience. And
you
gotta get
really
them going.
you set the tone kind of thing. Yeah,
Right,
it's
right.
like, you know, and I don't know.
An MC, dude. It's an MC of like anything, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's like you're really, again, yeah, you set the tone. You just like you're the one who's kind of saying, okay, well, this is the way it's going to be, and you just got excited watching that right now.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oscar, disappoint me by not watching more One Piece.
I have
One
not
Piece
watched
is
One Piece.
peaking at the current moment, and you know what I'm saying? Like the Shanks arc is coming, dude. That's all I gotta say. It's finally Shanks time.
I
It's
wonder
Shanks
if
time.
maybe instead of doing this whole catch up, I'll just start watching the latest and greatest.
no, it just wouldn't make too much sense. I feel like what you got to do is
I'll
at
be
least
honest,
get
like-
to
Marineford. I'll be honest, like what I've watched so far, like hardly makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, fuck.
Like, I mean, bits and pieces, but it's like it's going so fast that it's just kind of like
Yeah,
you don't get the same. Again, I watched
because you're missing all the pieces. You're missing all like the
the
speech.
monologues. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's
that's
some
what gets
like,
you drawn in. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get it.
you know,
I get it.
like-
The first 10 episodes, I kept watching because I like the episodes, but they're slow, like you say.
yeah.
So to get where I'm at right now would have taken me months in that video that you watch on YouTube of the.
I think what you do is you just play it, and you just like, you know.
But again, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm playing it, but I don't understand it.
No, episodes. You just got to play the episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you just got to play the episodes, and you just got to like watch, and then like, cause like I feel like when you're just playing the episode, you're not gonna miss too much, cause like you'll pay attention when things starting to go off. You're like, oh, like what is that? Like, you know.
You're right, actually. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably instead of doing the, because I feel like I end up pausing the other one because it's going so fast that it's like it's confusing me even when I'm trying to focus on something else. You know, so I pause it to say like I gotta think.
Here's the most like a Mexican soap opera type of like shit, right? Like in One Piece is like Shanks. Shanks has a twin brother, dude. Shit. Ah! He slept with his wife. What? You ever seen those shows growing up? Like Maori, or is it Maury or Maori?
Maury, yeah,
Maury,
or
and
like
then
Jerry Springer.
Jerry
was the
Springer,
first
and
one.
then like there was like
I like Maury.
there's a couple other ones. There's like there were a bunch of those. MTV was just a trash TV at some point.
That
It was
wasn't
just
as
like-
good. No. Yeah, that was I could see his face, but I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, dude, those shows were crazy. I see clips of them sometimes on like Facebook of like, this is not your child.
You are not the father.
Or I see like I watch a lot of those judge shows where it's like it's completely fake, right? Like I know this is a stage
Judy
judge.
and everything.
No, not Judge Judy. This is just a completely fake bullshit that like
My cousin was an actor for one of those. Yeah.
So, but like the thing is, like, it's a funny story. So I watch it because the story is like pretty funny, and it's like Jesus Christ, why are you even suing somebody for like $2,000? Like that was your reason to sue somebody was for $2,000, dude. Like
It's claims court, man.
I'm just
Welcome
gonna
to
walk.
claims
I would
court.
just walk
Yeah,
away,
yeah.
dude. Like, dude, like it would have to like the amount of effort that it would take for me to like go like you're taking a whole day out of my life for me. Like I'm done. I don't
Yeah, maybe for you though. I mean, but for others, $2,000 can mean like, man, I don't pay my rent, I don't pay my bills for some time. You know?
No, but like they do it for $800, Oscar. Like they do it for like stop. Like what?
First of all, it's not
I
real.
gotta go to court. Like, I don't want to go to court, dude. Like it's.
We'll do claims court, man. If you don't pay somebody, they'll take you to claims court.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't be like I wouldn't. I would just pay them. I don't know. I
That's
wouldn't be
the right
in that situation.
Yeah, that's the right
Like,
thing to do. Don't go to court. That's
So what happened was I was trying to. So we sold our house in Corona like 2 years ago, almost now. And before selling the house, I wanted to get the windows cleaned. So like I did some digging online, and I was like, all the quotes that I was given was like, like $200. I was like, fuck, dude, I don't want to pay like $200 to get some windows cleaned here. Like, so I just like found some guy on Yelp or some shit who didn't have any like. He just opened his business not that long ago, and what I should have done? I should have not hired him. That's what I should have done. But basically, he had no insurance. He had nothing.
him not to come.
He had no insurance, nothing, and he broke one of the shingles outside. Like he cracked them. He was obviously did not know what the fuck he was doing.
Why was he
cleaning
on the shingles?
Because you have to clean windows. You have to be outside.
Because
to clean
he was on top of the one of the.
yeah, and he
like,
basically just stepped on it and just cracked the shit out of it. And I was like, bro, like, what the fuck? He's like, ah, man, I don't have insurance. He's like, I was in the. He was like a former, like a retired, like a vet or some shit. And I just said, fuck it, dude. Like, I was like, what am I gonna do at this point? I'm gonna do like what?
They can't see the roof. Well, the inspector, yeah.
Well, no, it's not on the roof, or like it's like on the second floor. Because like, think about if from this window you had like shingles down, like a
Yeah, it's like the.
you could see it if you stood it, but like they never complained. And again, it was like the HOA is apparently like responsible for that kind of shit. So like we never like.
Oh really? Because it's a common structure.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
Anyways,
I mean,
anyways,
not your
but
problem.
Cool lesson learned was don't ever hire anyone that is not licensed, especially movers. I feel like that's a big one, dude.
Jesse's asking you a question: how much it would cost you to replace? I can't see the other part because it's on the white part.
Replace the shingles, bro. I didn't do replace it. He said he would come in and glue it, and I was like, just fuck off at that point, dude. Like, you're gonna fuck up more of them, and
tape, dog.
and then basically the HOA, whenever they update the thing, they're just gonna fucking fix it. I guess like they're like, we're not just gonna come up there to fix one shingle. Like it's like I was like, fuck you, like, fuck you, dude. Like
this is before you're trying to sell the house, or after you sold the house.
This all happened like basically once we had the offer, and they're like, oh, like let's clean up the house. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like they're gonna do inspections to make sure all the things are like fucking tidied up. So I'll patch all the holes and like, you know what I mean?
It was after.
Yeah, the house.
Oh, so they already inspected it.
No, they had put in an offer. So what happens is when you put in an offer, and then there's an escrow period where the house goes through inspection.
And it was before that or after that?
It was during that. During the inspection, I was like, oh, let's clean the fucking windows. So that
when they come to look at it.
No, they already looked at it. The inspector.
Then why did you clean the windows?
The inspector, dude. When the inspector comes in, just to make sure the house is nice and tidy before fucking the inspector comes in and looks at the house.
That's what I'm saying. So the inspector hadn't seen it yet.
Correct. But
Okay,
he didn't give a shit.
Okay.
Yeah, like I guess maybe he did.
He did not inspect
it.
That
Wasn't
well.
Again. It was to fix it. Maybe it would cost you like $100. Maybe I'm like stretching this over, and only because like
you don't know.
You probably have to go and somehow figure out what type of shingle these are.
Yeah.
Color wise, you don't want to put a fucking black one on like a.
I mean, you could, but yeah, I get it.
It would look
I hear what you're saying.
So
yeah.
maybe the HOA will upcharge you on some bullshit, but like end of the day, I'm pretty sure like it wouldn't be that. Like I could reach that shit from the window.
Well, I mean, ultimately, like you said, like the HOA is in charge of like because it's all common structure. So
yeah, so I didn't really give a shit
problem.
too much.
Yeah,
like I was like, fuck this thing. Like
it's not your problem, but at the same time.
Dude, yeah, honestly, this is what I tell people, dude. Don't like
hire an inspector.
No. Buying. So we bought one of those like homes that are like not pre-built, like a model homes, like or like these large construction where it's like they're doing like 400 homes and like you buy one, but you can do some level of customization and shit. What I realize is these guys are on a tight deadline to build houses, so they're building quick. So like there's a lot of fucking things that are just wrong with the house. Like one of the times, so we used to come you're not supposed to come and sneak in and like look at your house, and I guess you're supposed to like schedule an appointment and shit, like, and then like the builder will come and like show you the house and shit, just because they don't want to be liable for like
there's a lot,
shit going on. But we should just fucking we should come there anyways. We're like, fuck you guys, like, we're gonna come there. We came there, we looked at inside and shit. And a couple, like I would say, majority of the time when we came in there, we found a bunch of like beer cans and shit everywhere of these like contractors like just getting buzzed and working and shit.
Yeah.
So
at the end of the day,
I don't know, beginning and I don't know how this works. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is, we bought the house, and within a year and a half, we had to replace the entire flooring because they did such a piss poor job of the floor. Like it was like the floor started warping upwards. So basically, they hadn't left enough. Like I guess you're supposed to leave like because the floors like get smaller and bigger as the months change from winter to summer and whatnot.
Yeah.
So at the end you're supposed to put like a little bit of gap, or you're supposed to like have no gap, or what there's something you're supposed to do something to compensate for like the floor shrinking and getting bigger. And apparently, because there was no compensation done, it started to hit itself, compress it into it, and it started to warp up.
Was it wood or was it?
It was vinyl.
Mm. Mm.
Is vinyl? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
the floor. Yeah.
Luxury vinyl. LVP is what they called it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just shit, dude. And we got it replaced, but like it was just a whole fucking hell bullshit, dude. It's insurance, like just they said they weren't gonna do it. They said, you know what they did? They're those fucking pieces of shits. So what they did was like, so it's a whole battle of insurance now. Like, so we're going to like, oh, like we're like, hey, you guys are out of warranty and all this. Then they were like, we're gonna send in to see if there's moisture in your house. Obviously, we have a child, right? Like, and he's just a fuck. He's at the age where he was like just like one and a half, maybe, like when we're doing that. And he's running around fucking throwing fucking water.
So they're trying to blame it, saying like,
no. So what they did is they do a moisture test.
Yeah.
So they had this guy come in and he set up like he like undid 3 planks randomly around the house and he put like moisture cups and tied it to make sure like there's no moisture in that shit, right? But what we did was we went and got like a moisture dehumidifier that sucks the moisture out of the air. And we put that shit right there. And so like when the guy came in, he's like, this looks like it's clearly not tampered, but it looks like there's less moisture than what we originally like when the test went in. Clearly it seems like it's been tampered. Like
something has changed.
In theory, it looks like, but the tape was fine. No one ever touched the tape. And so they were like, all right, like I guess it's our fault. Yeah. They also ended up changing it. It would have been like $8,000-$9,000 or something like that. But
if you would have to pay for it.
Yeah, it was like fucking floorings cost a lot of money, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, so well, I guess if you could do it yourself, like I don't know how much. Like I wasn't gonna do it. I feel like you're fucking talking like I'm gonna fucking do the flooring myself, dude. You're not, dude. Shut the fuck up. Like you talk a lot of game. I see how you painted the house. Like you suck. Like you.
But is it done?
That's not the point, dude.
Yes.
No, because you don't want like your floors to be done like. Because like
no, I hear you. No, your floors are very important, because that happens. But that happened in my parents' house where some water I think got in some of the boards and the humidity made it warp. So that's why I think they check the humidity as well.
Yeah. But the problem is that if you have it really like so it won't happen in expensive house. Like if you like obviously are in $1 million homes or something where like the wood is thick. Like I say, you're using a fucking thick piece of wood or like a marble or something like that. That doesn't like
marble is not malleable.
But like let's say if you get a thick piece of wood that's like this thick, it's not gonna bend or give. Like it's only if you like have thinner wood, like the LVP type of shit, like where it's like
it's more noticeable. It's easy to see.
Well, it's just thinner wood, so like it doesn't the absorbent factor is like a lot like weird, you know.
Just to say goodbye.
Later, man.
Yeah, I hear you, man. On that note. AI is taking everybody's jobs.
Yeah, I hear that.
Had your kids, had your wife. Because AI is coming for you. We're on the street. What do you think, Bob?
Dude, I think it's like there is going to be some level of correction. I think and what I think is like it's moving from like I feel like these large scale models that these companies are building, right? Anthropic, Google, OpenAI, right? I think they are not going to be profitable or they have to figure I want to take Google out of this equation for right now. I want to just talk about like Anthropic and OpenAI and these native AI companies. Because Google has a separate line business item like that, like that's going to sustain them. That's not going to cripple them, even if like their AI investment falls short. Same thing with like Meta, right? Like they make most of their money through Facebook, like and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I feel like pure companies like Anthropic, pure companies like, let's say OpenAI, right? Like Anthropic is planning to go public next year at $300 billion IPO.
$300 billion
off of $5 billion in revenue.
$5 billion in revenue.
Yeah, so like, what does that come out to be?
30x,
like?
30, 300,
300. Like so, like
not less. That's my math is terrible.
No, but whatever it is, it's a very high multiple. It is 300 times, I think, Oscar.
60.
Huh?
60x.
Okay, yeah, 60x. So that's a lot.
Yeah.
So again, is it justified? And then also it comes down to like cost of electricity, cost of compute, right? Like, and also like, are models that are smaller performing better? Are these smaller scale models like DeepSeek and a bunch of these other smaller models, are they inherently better because they're reducing the cost down? I don't see OpenAI, I don't see Anthropic like lowering the cost per compute has to come down or you can't succeed. Right? Like what is it? Because think about this. You're building, so here's a clear example. You have to build these data centers, right? That cost like $30 billion to build. And how often do you have to replace these GPUs on these data centers? How long does GPUs last? Like that, I'm sure that's been tested. Like just ask the question.
I mean, I feel like it's part of Moore's law, in which case it duplicates each year. In which case, by the time it gets into a computer's
No, but let's say 5 years.
Double the speed.
Let's just say 5 years. Let's say 5 years, your GPUs technically is going to start being obsolete.
Yeah.
So you're building a data center that costs $30 billion that you have to replace every 5 years.
Not the structure, but
not the structure, but like the biggest expense of a data center is these GPUs that you're buying from
the servers. It's well, yes and no. You know, it's like
well, it's the electricity to run the fucking data center, which is to compute the GPUs. Again, end of the day, it's going to come down to like there has to be an ability for you to compute faster at a lower cost, and you can do that either through like smaller models that talk to each other,
or through scale.
You can't just at some point, like for you to scale a $30 billion data centers where you have to keep replacing GPUs every 5 years is not sustainable long term.
But if if there's so many companies doing it,
I don't know. I don't know what's like. I think that's a. Again, I don't think OpenAI is going to be like a fucking failure of a company.
Not at all.
You know,
not at all.
I just don't think
that's not the
high
question.
Level of justification of.
But OpenAI is also not the only. They're not the only one who wants a data center. Amazon wants a data center for nothing to do with AI, right? So you know, it's like AWS. What do you mean?
Yeah, but I guess stop, dude. Who do you think is powering these fucking?
AWS is separate than AI. AWS is a whole other beast than these LLMs and AI.
I know, but like
NVIDIA and everything like that.
Who runs like NVIDIA's like cloud network?
Probably AWS, I imagine.
Like again, this all starts to come around to the same type of shit. Like,
well, sure, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so much, but now there's like different layers of folks that need these data centers. So now it's not just AWS or the host.
How big is the data center that AWS is trying to build? Like,
huge.
But like, what's the cost? And again, what is the goal of that data center? If the goal is to increase like efficiency across Amazon. Amazon's already a profitable business, then yeah, like those costs are justified to a degree, right? What I'm saying is like these companies that are like Anthropic, OpenAI, it is not justified because your revenue, like what are you gonna do? Let's say you build these data centers, right? How do you plan to monetize this? Like what is the goal? Because you can like, okay, you're selling subscription models to customers. Okay, that's one way. Like, okay, let's just say you get 400 million users. You say a billion users. Okay, that's one way. But like, you can't grow to be like 100 billion plus in revenue by selling to consumers. You got to be able to start selling to businesses at scale. Like,
yes, yeah. But I think that the data center aspect is totally different. Business model.
Like, what do you mean?
The data centers is like, I mean, it's exactly that. It's processing your data. So everything you're putting into the OpenAI, into ChatGPT right now, they're processing that and analyzing it in some sort of way. They're not telling you what it is. It's just part of their privacy policy, and they're going to funnel that into something else. So let's say tomorrow, you're right, this doesn't become $100 billion business. Then again, I asked myself, what company in 5 years, 2019, they became a for-profit company, kind of, they started that process, has grown to $5 billion annually. That's a pretty huge like increase that fast. Is in which case, then I understand maybe what you're saying. 60x, does that make sense? It doesn't make sense.
Their
But
revenue is 20 billion, right? They're getting valued at like $1 trillion.
yeah, so yeah, no, yeah, they're
But it's not just
the
that,
argument is
it's
for
not just the
sure.
valuation. It's the
But
investment into your your company that has 20 billion in revenue that's valued at $1 billion, valued at $1 trillion, and you're already committing 50 billion on spend. Like at some point, your numbers aren't numbering.
and so the thing is I don't believe that the data centers are meant to just process what their customers are intaking, or I mean are prompting. They're not going to use that simply because you asked ChatGPT something. That's not what they're going to be designed for. They're going to be designed for a bigger idea of everything that we are, I guess, putting into ChatGPT and OpenAI right now. It is ingesting it, and right now it's absorbing. It's in a stage of Luffy taking up whatever fucking water and expanding kind of thing. Dude.
Stop.
But then once it's going to release it in a different way, totally. So I think the data
But
centers are
okay,
a long-term play to be like a competitor to maybe AWS or things like that. That's why ChatGPT, check this out, Atlas, they just released their own browser.
Because they're getting fucking wrecked by Google.
Well, but that's no, the argument is still going in the same direction. Google, who's the other player who's building data centers and things like that? Google Cloud, because they are a host as well as AWS.
No, but Google's building these data centers primarily also for compute. Same reason.
But to process data, everything is about taking your data and what can you extrapolate?
Is, right? Again,
but then again, it still requires
what is
power.
The cost of running these data centers? I'm clearly just thinking from a financial perspective, right? What is the cost?
A data center is just it's just rows and rows of servers. The cost of a server has gone down substantially over the past 30 years.
You're collecting those, and something has to like be able to like extract the information from it, right?
Well, that's the software. Coders code that into the servers, to whatever software, and that's what they're taking. Data scientists, that's what they're using SQL to essentially tell it. Python, whatever they want to use.
I mean, again, all I'm trying to say is like, because these data centers are not going to run itself. What is the cost of data? I feel like you're like super cryptic. But what the fuck is the cost of the data center? Like, it's not. Am I being?
It's not free. No.
Why does it cost $30 billion to make 30? Like, what is an upkeep cost of a data center, a large scale data center?
It's all electricity, I imagine.
But what is that? Like, what is that?
Well, it matters about the size of it, right? So, what is the upkeep cost of a data center? Let's see. 7 to 12 million per megawatt, or $600 to $1,100 per square foot for construction.
I mean, look at that. It says the cost to compute a $7 trillion race for scale data center. They're building these data centers. Everyone else is building data centers, Oscar. I'm talking about there's a sheer cost and investment that's going into building just computing data centers is astronomical.
I guess to your point, the question is like, does this cost actually equate to the real like what they're actually building out?
Yeah, and then
like why is it $600 to $1,100 per square foot?
But again,
that
you
seems
do
insane.
This, but what happened? So let's say you build this data center, right? Like, let's say your cost to compute is, let's say your token cost is like, it costs you $1 million. $1 gives you 1 million tokens. Let's just assume that's $1 gives you 1 million queries on ChatGPT. That's the cost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you saying by increasing this data center, I'm gonna decrease my denominator by how much? Because I'm hoping that's the goal. If that's not the goal, then what the fuck are we building these data centers? We meaning I'm not building any of these data centers. Let's get that shit correct.
Well, I mean, it allows you to process data faster. So right now, it's like like if I'm running a website, for example, on one server in my house, and I have 100 people visit that website at the same time, it'll crash.
You're just thinking it from just like
No, I'm just putting it in like a very basic way of understanding.
I get that. Yeah.
So if they have millions of users, not only visiting, but now putting in information that requires like a lot of computing power just to articulate and give you a response, it requires just a lot of servers. If one server could only handle 100 customers, for example, then, well, if I have 10,000 customers, then I need 1,000 servers, right? No, excuse me. Well,
yeah, but like, okay, now, okay, so now so like that's on a general like software sense, right? That's on a simple software, like
I'm putting in the basic kind of way to understand.
Right? Like,
yeah.
Whatever that cost is, right? It is significantly lower than a cost to prompt one query for ChatGPT.
No, see, that's where I think, because you're getting your information from OpenAI and what they're charging you to use their prompt. You're basing your cost, or what you think your cost is, on what they're selling it to you. They are getting it for not nearly that high. That's why they're making $5 billion.
Again,
or no, more than $20 billion.
Their cost to themselves it's irrelevant to me, and I'll tell you why.
The cost right now is because they're scaling. The cost right now is high because they're scaling. They need to build these data centers to process all this and not crash.
Their cost is higher. So you're telling me in the future, because most SaaS companies, now
you could run a website off of your computer that has a certain amount of RAM and certain amount of things, but it's going to be very basic. You could have your computer be a server. But if you and I go to it at the same time and try to do a bunch of stuff, it will crash.
No, I get that. What I'm trying to tell you is like think from a basic level, right? Like in the beginning, like let's just say when Uber first started, right? The cost to ride an Uber was a lot less. As you're scaling, and this is very common with all Amazon, Google, all these companies, when you're scaling, you are providing the product at the cheapest price that you can when you're scaling, right? What happens is listen. What happens as you scale and reach that maximum point is you have now achieved scale to where you can produce at a lower efficient cost, right? But you're still going to continue to charge me more and more money. And Amazon does that. All these companies start to charge you more and more and try to lower their costs down. And what I'm trying to say is these AI companies, they need to simultaneously reduce their cost per token to the customer, because you have to just think it from like how much input, regardless of what you do, you can try to squeeze more profit out, but if you do that, competitors are going to take your business. So ultimately, the market's going to dictate it. You have to able to somehow reduce your cost to compute down by maybe 100 times, or this whole thing is going to be too costly. You're not going to win this big fucking race.
Yet they're still making $20 billion a year.
$20 billion is nothing, though. Like, think about you're losing. Like,
what, $20 billion in 5 years, Bibhor?
Dude, they're making $20 billion a year.
That's what I'm saying. $20 billion with a B, dude.
Okay.
With a B,
look how much they're losing.
What?
Think about this. Like, think about this.
I get it. No, I hear you. Uber was profitable as of last year. They were around for 15 years.
Okay, what do they do?
And they weren't profitable until last year.
Yeah, but what do they do?
Ride shares.
Okay,
that's it.
Okay, but
they use AWS servers.
No, their inherent cost.
And they don't even make $1 billion a year. No, look at this.
Their inherent cost.
How much does Uber make a year?
Way more than $1 billion, dude. It's probably like 4 or 5 billion. 43 billion. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, it doesn't make billions. Okay.
Listen, I feel like what you're failing to understand is you cannot compare your traditional SaaS company model Like what? That's what you're doing. You're saying Amazon did it.
No,
You're saying,
you just said Uber. I'm talking about AWS
leave it.
because
Okay,
you're talking about servers.
okay,
Like
let's-
who needs a server?
Okay.
AWS needs a server just as much
Okay.
as OpenAI and NVIDIA needs a server.
I know.
Uber doesn't need a server.
I know, but like servers in the traditional software sense require a lot less computing power than a cost of using a query.
That's where no, you're wrong. It's the exact same computing power, but we companies no longer want to manage that themselves, which is why they go to AWS.
ChatGPT, dude.
No,
I'm tired
dude.
of this.
It's why they go to AWS. That's why AWS, it's a service. They say, why should you have a server in the fucking basement of the company when you could just pay me because I have an entire server warehouse for you to run your entire website? You no longer have to host it in the basement of your building anymore, or have a whole room dedicated to this. And as you scale, it's going to be different levels. So it's going to be a bigger cost to you as a business, or you could pay me as Amazon to do this for you. OpenAI, what they're trying to do is say, I don't want to rely on Amazon. I want to build this myself. That's why they're scaling so much into having these data centers themselves. That way they can have all control over all the information that goes in, the computing power, how much they could charge folks. They'll have a monopoly on it because no one else will have it to that extent. And the other LLMs will say, well, you have all the data centers that could handle what I'm giving it. So you're the only player in this house. AWS can't handle it. Red Hat won't be able to handle it.
Why would they want
They'll
to
be the
handle
only
other? They
That's more data.
alone.
Why does AWS want to handle every single website in the United States? Data has to feed through AWS.
You are getting.
Do you not want to be the
listen to me,
monopoly
though.
of that?
You are
The owner
getting
of that?
so much data already coming to you. from
They
your
can
own
get
system.
more. I know,
understand.
but that's what I'm saying. So not only will they be able to handle their own data without having to give it to Amazon or anybody else because they're handling it themselves, but the hypothetical that I'm putting in here is that other companies will say OpenAI will be the only player in house with the computing power to handle what I'm giving it. So I will go to OpenAI in comparison to AWS or to the other hosts, I guess. Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, I unless I'm dead wrong, I feel like they're building these warehouses, these data centers, to be strictly verticalized and only use it for their own computing needs,
Maybe.
not for because understand from a sense like.
But if they have it, they could pivot very easily.
I think it's a pretty ask this question. What is the cost to like what is the cost of a query? What is the cost of a ChatGPT query? I guess.
To ChatGPT, now how much they charge you?
Just put ChatGPT token cost.
$0.07 per input, up to 30 cents. Simultaneously, this is not the cost to them. They're obviously have a huge markup.
Okay, that's
because
again,
it's a business. It's a
That
business.
doesn't fucking matter. What you're not understanding is like, if you were okay, think about this, Oscar. Like, think about this. If they are charging, you're saying they are charging fucking that their cost of them is so low. Then why would someone go to ChatGPT and not go to Anthropic? You cannot do that. You cannot just simply
No, because
don't go to
that's a
Google.
different conversation.
No, it's not.
No, because the LLMs are different. The software,
that's not true.
the
The
tool
market
themselves are different.
There are so many tools. The market will dictate. Okay, what is the cost? Ask the same question to Gemini or Claude. Do it for all three. On a different. Just do it different. Yeah.
You want me to ask what's the token cost for Gemini?
Yeah.
Okay. Token cost of Gemini. Same exact price.
So they're all probably like.
Probably using what the standard is for the market. I mean,
Yeah. Then again, they're probably not fucking. It's not that profitable. I'm probably telling you, like they're pretty competitive. It's not like they have a high profit margin. No one has a high profit.
Hold on. So I do not believe that any of them are making a profit right now.
No, I don't think they're making. I don't even think, even if you like.
So because like the cost of their engineers, just to pay their engineers, is probably massive.
What they need to do is, if it's for companies at scale to adopt OpenAI or Chat or Gemini or Anthropic or whatever, they need to ultimately keep the cost. Sure, make it $1,000 for a million tokens right now, but in the future, they need to be able to do a billion tokens for $1,000. Effectively, just still charge $1,000, but you need to somehow increase your ability to handle cost quicker. But look at the token cost. Just do a token cost comparison between LLM models. Somebody's probably already made like a fucking like a chart for us.
So example token cost per 1 million tokens. Cheapest is Google Gemini, then Meta, then OpenAI, then Anthropic.
DeepSeek.
So Google Gemini near $0 for input output.
Right.
Meta Llama is 0.00003 for input, 0.000.
Until they can even increase this even higher, you have to virtually go to zero.
Which are virtually at zero.
No, but that's what I'm saying. These are smaller models. So that's what I'm saying. DeepSeek, Gemini 2 are smaller models.
Google Gemini,
that's a
Meta Llama, OpenAI, GPT-5
those are like lower tier models. Those are just smaller scale models. They want more complicated models as you go up market, like Opus 3. Like that's probably a high end model. Like, see, $15 in input, dude. Like, you can't sustain enterprise. You're thinking here. This is what we're using.
I think, but I think you're also forgetting that it's like this is a fucking SaaS company.
No.
It's like you don't think that they're like massively marking all this shit up.
No, I don't, because you have to. In the beginning, in a SaaS company, you are trying to get customers, so the cost is always going to be low. You're always going to be charging a lower amount of money. Salesforce, when they started out, they were giving it for free.
Yes, because they needed to be a premium model. But when they started, they were a not-for-profit company, and they changed for a profit company because they saw that they could make a profit.
Dude, okay, it's like, listen. That's not what they changed for profit. They knew they could make money. Sure, that's fine. But Anthropic is still there. Gemini is still there. Like, if
those are competitors that came out of the proven market that they made.
That's not true, dude. If you're saying AI race began because OpenAI built out a fucking OpenAI.
No, they were not the first ones to be in the
absurd.
No. But they proved a market space that brought in a lot of investors. You cannot disagree that OpenAI was the first one to get the biggest amount of cash.
No, that's fine. But what I'm trying to tell you is like this right here. Like, think of it like this, right? Like, we're using this base model, right? We're using this.
The Meta Llama.
Right. Yeah. As you go into an enterprise model, as you start to do more complicated shit.
We're not actually, no, so you're wrong. We're not using this. We're using this, what we pay for $20 a month. We're using these.
Oh, I guess this is GPT-4.
Yeah, we're using this high-end model for $20 a month. Okay, so this is bullshit that this is saying $150 input, $600 output.
We don't know
the cost. Why are they charging you $20 a month, Bibhor?
How much are they losing? How much money are they losing?
They're not fucking losing. That's a fuck.
You don't think OpenAI is losing money?
Right now, yes. Why? Because they're investing billions of dollars in data centers.
How much? Okay, let's parts that data center cost aside. I'm sure there's a lot. How much money do you, outside of data centers, how much money do you think OpenAI is losing per year?
So they're bringing in $20 billion.
I'm sure this is public information. They're
not a public company.
No, they have too many shareholders that are like Microsoft has to fucking disclose like all the shareholders meetings.
They're a public company.
Dude.
Microsoft is a public company. They have to.
Owns half of OpenAI.
OpenAI is not a public company.
Microsoft has to disclose how half of their investment is doing. Their shareholder meeting has to disclose, like, they said they released a bunch of shit on OpenAI literally on the last shareholder meeting that said OpenAI has been burning billions like cash. But again, like
13 billion. OpenAI over 9 billion with some suggestion
they plan to invest 115 billion
through 2029.
Yeah, so in the next 4 years they plan to spend 115 billion.
But here, also seeing strong revenue growth with full year projections around 13.
They're not even at 20 billion. They're at fucking 13. So they've already commit to spend 10 times their revenue mark. So you're dude, again, like stop. They haven't figured out what they want to do. Okay, maybe they will eventually. They're starting to launch like ads on OpenAI. They're starting to launch like buying through OpenAI. So you can go to OpenAI and say, "Hey, I want to buy this thing off Alexa," right? Like it will happen, but they don't know what they're gonna do. What is the goal, dude? What the fuck?
The first half they made 4.3 billion and only burned through 2.5.
Yeah, that was before this fucking.
The first half of 2025.
Yeah. Maybe they're planning for the spin in the second half, dude. Like,
But I mean, that means they saw 1.5 billion dollars in the bank.
dude, that's nothing when you're committing 50 billion on a fucking.
For the data servers, that's going to make your
Stop.
business compete with AWS,
No,
dog.
no, dude, you're not gonna compete.
Dude, you're not thinking of the future.
Dude, okay, $1 trillion. How much revenue do you think you have to bring in to be justified at $1 trillion? So let's look at some.
Apple is 3
No,
billion.
no,
They do about $300 billion a year.
Okay, so you think Apple's 3 trillion? So just like find $1 trillion company. What's $1 trillion company that's like moderate standard, like Meta? What does Meta do?
Apple, I'm not
Apple's
sure.
like $3 trillion. Apple's massive. 3 trillion and $1 trillion is a huge difference.
Yeah, that's by 2, huh?
Stock, too
stock, yeah.
Okay, 1 point. I mean, they're almost 2 trillion. A Berkshire Hathaway it's hard to. That's not a good company to. They're probably $1 billion. Like they're probably $1 trillion company. Yeah, on the mark, baby. Like, let's go.
Yeah, 1.08 trillion.
But they're not a good comp.
Yeah, because they're.
Yeah, but again, I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, Tesla.
I mean, check this out. So, I mean, like, Bank of America their market cap is 395, but they do $98 billion a year, give or take.
That's
So
just
about
4
three
times.
Yeah,
That's not that crazy though.
that's not that crazy. But so let's go back to
Tesla is probably like a.
Let's see, Tesla.
Tesla's probably like pretty out there. 1.2. They do like what 20 billion a year.
1.5 trillion. Sorry. Tesla revenue.
Just I didn't just fucking bitch.
97 billion.
Yeah, dude. How do
So
they plan
they do about like 10 times.
So tell me, how do they plan to get to 100 billion in revenue? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, what is the goal to $100 billion? You have 20 billion, and you have almost like 200 million users already. Like, because I'll tell you that, like, I don't think Europe is gonna be that like fucking.
So AWS brings in $107 billion a year.
Yeah.
AWS hosts the majority of websites in the US.
Yeah. I think the data centers they're creating versus data centers that like.
You don't think they're going to be in like?
They're not. I
agree with you that at first
they're not going to be in the data center
them.
business. They're not going to be in the data center business. Amazon started out AWS because they needed to host their own data. Right?
Yes, and what does OpenAI have to do?
They have to host it, but
their own data.
But there's a different purpose.
And then they pivot to. That's what I'm saying. It's like, right now, they're probably saying it's only for OpenAI. We only need it for our data.
Because I feel like the goals are
But
different.
it's like it's going to be like McDonald's saying, I don't want to sell burgers anymore. They get whatever because they own real estate on like every street corner in the world.
I think the problem with like this is like this takes years and years of like architecture building, like building blocks.
And
like,
that's why by 2029, they said they've committed that by that much.
I don't think like the level of like, I mean, okay, I'll take that back. I think for AI native companies, maybe OpenAI becomes like the building block for AI native companies, but I don't think that's what they're trying to do. That's what Anthropic's trying to do. That's not what they're trying to do.
Anthropic's not trying to build server centers.
No. Anthropic is trying to like be the company that like is a company that helps you build like apps and stuff at some point. You know, they're going to be the dev tool. What is like, I don't like they can do that for like, I think eventually, like
No, it's but you have to think of it like Google Cloud. It's like it's the fact of hosting it just means that it's just it's power, man. It's like it's like it's like saying like every time anybody visits you, you're paying me.
I
You know
mean,
what
I
It's
don't
like,
think. Okay, I mean, ask that to OpenAI. I guess is there OpenAI on here?
I have it on my here.
Ask the question of is does ChatGPT or does OpenAI plan to?
I don't think. I don't think.
No,
They're not going to put it
ask
in their
it. Just
plan
ask
right
it. Who
now.
cares? Like who cares?
Does OpenAI?
Some people have probably made assumptions on this. To be fair, if you're thinking about it, you're not the only one thinking about it.
You're right.
Does OpenAI have any intentions of competing with AWS as a cloud host provider? I don't know. Is that what they call
Just
it?
competing with AWS. Let's just say that. It's going to say no. Oh yes. So it says, good question. And the short answer is yes. There are publicly stated indications that OpenAI does intend to compete, at least in part, with cloud infrastructure providers such as Amazon Web Services, AWS, even as it is also currently works with them. Here's how.
I mean, I guess they're trying to do the same thing. I guess.
Yeah. They don't want to give their information to Amazon because their information is the gold. So they want to keep it in-house, but they're going to realize, well, we've built this in-house already. Why not give this to everybody else who's in the same business as us? Because Amazon has its limitations, and that's why they're building it themselves.
What was their limitations? Just not enough power?
Cost, computing power, everything. Yeah, I don't know. It could be a number of different things. But if Amazon was doing it perfectly, they wouldn't be paying billions of dollars.
How long does a data center last for? Like, what's the how long does it last for? Like, I'm sure data centers have a life cycle, as do any like.
Well, I mean, but a data center is just it's like a warehouse mixed with a bunch of servers. The servers have to be replaced every 3 to 5 years, let's say. But the cost of the server has gone down significantly. So you're just replacing servers on a time basis.
What does that cost? Like 4 years?
Well, so if I have 100 servers, that cost me $1,000 each, and I have to replace.
What do they cost $1,000 each? Like you're talking about scale here. Let's just there's like a billion fucking servers. Like, like what are they gonna do? Like,
so what is the cost of a data server? Let's see the cost of a data server.
And they have this quintillion farms, right? Like the size of Manhattan.
Oh, huge. Yeah. So a modest entry-level server for small businesses like workloads usually between 1,000.
Enterprise grade, dude.
So enterprise grade between
20,000
to 20K. Yeah.
20K.
Well, see, but you can get a Dell one for.
Dude, you're not running AWS on a fucking Dell fucking.
Well, but it's not one of these. You have thousands of these.
I'm sure you're just gonna get a bigger one, like that $20,000 one. I just think they will get that price down instead of 20. They're probably
gonna pay redundancies. I mean, yeah, I guess there's a whole bunch of different business. But yeah, high-end server $400 to $1,000 a month if you want to rent it. But
ask how does OpenAI or Anthropic plan to justify its high market cap? What is its plan to fucking revenue? Like, how does it plan to like actually make the money? OpenAI and Anthropic. ANTS or PIC? Yeah, PSC.
Justify their high valuation?
High valuation. And how does it actually plan on scaling revenue to match those high valuation? Because the cost of data centers are so high.
So massive, what justifies their high valuations? Massive user base, multi-channel revenue model, rapid growth, platform potential.
Bro, nothing.
It's first mover. No, it's overvalued. I don't disagree with you there. Though
I think Anthropic is doing it right, dude. I feel like they're going up in the enterprise side. If you like, I feel like no company in the world can be the biggest company if you're just selling it to people. Like, I just don't see that.
I think I agree with you, but I think they are now in two different businesses.
Like, I
So
want,
Anthropic is now trying to be the best AI, the best LLM.
I think
And,
they're trying to be a
and
developer friendly AI. They want to be
correct,
the
100%.
SDK tool for developers.
I think they're probably the best AI on the market. I do
I don't
not
know.
think that OpenAI
I think
anymore.
Google just slaps on both of them. It's like,
I don't think
cheeks.
I don't think
Cheeks for
OpenAI is trying to be in that business as much as you think anymore.
Here's the thing. And
I think they want to host this for Anthropic and things like that.
Where do you think Google ranks on this AI race? Where do you think Google ranks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Dookie, like, you know?
I think right now they're probably number 2 or 3, but
You don't think they're number 1?
Well, just based on what they kind of give me, I don't think they're number 1 yet, though. I think they have the entire recipe to be numbers.
Do you know why?
0. You know what I mean? Like the best.
You know why I tell you Google is the best model, and it has already, I think, has lapped all of these other companies.
What?
Simply for one reason.
The images?
They are the only AI company that does not run on GPUs. Let me tell you that. The only AI company that does not run on GPUs.
What does that mean?
So all OpenAI and Anthropic, they all run on
mean?
GPUs.
Like, how does that happen?
They run on, I think, TPUs. So Google has made their own GPUs, essentially, for Gemini. They do not need NVIDIA.
They don't need another company.
They do not need NVIDIA. Now think how powerful that is, right? Second thing, NVIDIA, how NVIDIA's GPUs are built is through circuits. Just think about like a microchips, right? They're all circuits. To connect another GPU, you need to run a wire, connect it. Like they're physical copper wires, right? Guess what happens with copper wire? They burn out over time. You gotta replace those wires. So if something breaks down, your GPU, it takes time to go fix it, right? Google's TPUs, they run on light. So data is being carried through light, through mirrors inside. So basically a light hits this mirror and bounces off to wherever it needs to go, right? So what happens when, let's say, like that spot stops working? They can just turn the mirror, and it will just reflect to a different spot. The upkeep is a lot less. The maintenance of these products is a lot less. Allows you to scale a lot faster because they keep fucking breaking as fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And their models are superior. Their models are better because think about it like this: like you have been indexing the internet for the last fucking 15 years.
Yes.
You know where everything is. Your AI model is only as good as your data, right?
Yeah.
Who has been hoarding fucking data for the last 15 years? Google knows every single data that comes in the internet. Their bots are so good. Their crawlers are probably so elite. Why do you think OpenAI made Atlas? Because you cannot compete with Chrome. You simply couldn't compete with Chrome. I go to Chrome to use ChatGPT. You have already lost the race. We're already in a losing situation when I open your product through mine. Like we're already losing. You get that? Like,
yeah.
Like it's impossible to win. And I think they've just been very quiet. I think they're like, think of it like this. Okay, I have go to your project, right? Because I think that's like kind of the cool thing. Like, so if you go to projects, right, you open a new project. So it's open. It's right. It's open up travel or whatever. Okay. So here you can add files, right?
Yeah.
So Google has these things called gems. They work a little bit different, but here's the catch. So these files are capped at like 10 files or 15 files or something like that, right? There's a cap. You can't upload more than like 15 files. Google can upload it to Drive.
The entirety of it, yeah. So if you have like
just think about that. Just think about that for a second, dude. Like it's gonna be, and then you can write custom instructions just for that gem. Can you do that here? Can you write just custom instructions just for this? Okay, you can.
Yeah, I don't know.
How advanced are those instructions?
Instructions, yeah. I mean, okay. I just type in the yeah.
So there's a couple of layers beyond this. Like there's instructions you can do, and there's like output you want to phrase. So there's more added things you can do on the gem. And dude, it's elite, dude. The responses are better.
I mean, I find it to be lazy at times where I give it a document and it doesn't go through the entire document.
Gemini?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't had that issue. Like,
well, you got to read what it gives you because sometimes you assume that it's giving you the right thing and you find out that it's like it reads half of it and then it like fucking hallucinates the rest of it. And it's like I didn't even have that conversation. Well, I didn't even say that. You know, like that wasn't even part of the.
I gotta test. I haven't seen that, but you could be right.
It happens a lot because I put in the transcript, and I try to use like the 3, and I end up using the 3 to kind of like get the best answer.
Okay, but, so again, that's where the gem comes in. I have Gemini Pro, right? Mm-hmm. So one of my gems is like the podcast. So I just have a drive where I just upload the transcript into a drive. And then I have clear instructions on it to read the entire document, and that's one of the instructions I can like. So every week I go on that gem, and I can just like say, "Hey, this is week 34. Like, what do I need to do?" One thing it does really well is analyze YouTube. So you can just drop a YouTube link.
It does do that, yeah. I did use that too.
And then also it also analyzes links. Yeah. That's what other things it does. So OpenAI is very like not that good at like analyzing links.
You need to download. Well, you need to get the Pro, and you have to install the desktop application for it to do that.
But guess what, dude?
Same with Cloud.
Google indexes all websites.
Yeah,
it's just easier. They just have a head up, and then this whole TPU business is like, next level. But
the TPU downside is just going to be that it's a Google proprietary thing. It's like everything is.
Well, NVIDIA is an NVIDIA proprietary thing.
No, but NVIDIA is it's like.
But why wouldn't you want to? Like I'm pretty sure like OpenAI, if they had the the ability, they would like. Okay, here's the problem with OpenAI.
It's the argument of like Apple versus PC, right? It's like Apple's proprietary. It's great at what it does. It does it better. In my argument, though. PC has a lot more freedom and open ability to do whatever you want to do. Many people don't know what they want to do.
Here's one of the big reasons I think OpenAI is and Anthropic and all these other AI companies are significantly behind Google is Google has a physical product. Right? Like that is so huge. OpenAI does not have a physical product. Google has a physical phone, physical product. And my phone is completely integrated with Gemini, right? That is huge. Having a physical product changes the fucking game.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? Because then you can start forcing like.
Well, it's like if Apple were to get into it, but then Apple tap Google to be
because they know. Like Apple, I think, looks back and says like, "Fuck, dude, they got it in the bag." Like I think we like no. If you really sit back and think about it, dude, like, dude, they have it in the bag. They verticalized their fucking GPU.
They already have the server, like the
then they made the GPUs for this, right?
Yeah.
They already have the phone. They're like, we already have this kind of technology. Like, we're good. We don't need to be dependent on something. Well,
Yeah.
Tomorrow, NVIDIA could be like, hey, like, we need to increase our fucking price, like, which again is gonna happen. Like, let's get the fuck, like. Anyways, dude, your computer battery's dying.
Everything is dying.
I got a new job, fucking
yeah. Ooh, celebrations.
I used to work. Now I can say I feel like I used to work for a company that
don't tell them where you work.
Was in AI security. There was in
cybersecurity.
Hackers, dude. I used to work with hackers.
Bob was a hacker. Bob works for the CIA. We haven't figured that out yet.
Luffy, dude. You guys didn't know insurrections going around Mexico, dude.
All of a sudden, yeah. He starts mentioning it, and then all of a sudden we see it everywhere. Starting in Nepal, where he's from.
There you go.
Coincidence? I think not.
All right.
guys. Welcome. Thank you for coming to episode 35. We'll see you next week. Subscribe, like, and follow us. Love you. See you next time. We got to hold up. We got to do like, let me turn this off.
Fucking hungry.